Good evening, Gooners. This is in the North Bank. This is the Matchday preview. So, going into the new season in the FA Cup, we look at this game, and the draw was made, and we come up against familiar foes, 4 years to the day today, we faced Nottingham Forest. It was a performance to have forgotten. I think was probably the best way I can put it. We really did not get going on that game. We lost 4-2 coming into that game as champion, or as not champions, but as cup winners. And we paired off against them in the third round once again, and we conceded 2 penalties, and Arsene Wenger was serving a touchline suspension for criticising referees. Nothing's really changed, really. I think only the fact that Arteta's probably a little bit more reserved in what he does, because you could easily criticise, but it's not going to get you anywhere, is it? There's no real benefit for doing it. But only one player played in that game 4 years ago, and we had Holding playing, and then Nketiah and Chambers that were on the bench that day. So they're the players that have stayed from what we actually had out that day. But it was a disappointing game, and I think this group of players we've got have a bit more about them, and I can't see a similar performance, certainly relinquishing the cup like that, like we did. But the opposition, Nottingham Forest, so they've had a mixed season so far. They started the league really, really badly. The first 7 games of the Championship, they'd lost 6. They'd sacked Chris Hughton after that, and then they won the game whilst appointing the new manager, Steve Cooper, and then they went on to win 5 of the next 6 games, and had a draw in the other one. They then had a defeat to Fulham, and then they've gone on a mad run of they've gone nine games unbeaten, winning 4 of them. So that was really, really good. But considering the start, they've done really well to get into 9th place at the minute. They've only just struggled when they got to Boxing Day to defeat against Middlesbrough, and then they lost 1-0 to Huddersfield. I did actually watch that game, and they were putting Huddersfield under huge amounts of pressure, and they'd had chance after chance and couldn't score. But that just meant then that they'd lost 2 games in a row after only having 1 defeat in 16 games. So they come into it, I still think, in good nick. They've certainly got a potential to cause problems. I'm not gonna lie there. Graban is the top scorer for them, and as I say they've been flitting with a 3-4-3 formation and then a 4-2-3-1. So it turned Nottingham Forest into a real negative kind of team. So yeah, to be ninth place after that start is good going, and say to only lose to Fulham in that period, and then a bit of a Christmas period to forget for them. But they go into the FA Cup now with nothing to lose. A home game, the crowd is probably going to be right behind them, and it's going to be noisy. But so are our support. So our support are going to be right behind the team, and with the new white kit for this game, no more red, and yeah, everyone's going to be up for it. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be obviously right in the lot under the lights at 5:10, and yeah, looking at Arteta's press conference, I'm not sure he knows and understands who is going to be available and what kind of team he's going to be able to select. We've obviously got a couple of injuries, but there's also some doubts about COVID. So yeah, I said before when we played City, and then suddenly a few days later, City have suddenly come in and said, we've got 21 out across the board, and you're suddenly thinking if one of those was infectious, and yeah, even being outside, they're in close quarters. So if one of them has had the virus and has passed it on in that like short term, then we could be in a bit of bother. And as I say, I hope that obviously when we get to say like next week and on Thursday when we go to Liverpool, I'm travelling up there, that we're not in a position that Liverpool screamed and cried about, and for them to cancel the game and then a day later after the game they reopen the training centre, and yeah, now miraculously they can field a team on Sunday against Shrewsbury. So yeah, different rules for the FA Cup, but again, it reeks of a bit of something not quite right with it, really, to be honest. Yeah, so yeah, but it's been done, and yeah, I think there's something fishy there. But yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see who he chooses. There's a lot of players there now that need some game time. Certainly with the players that have gone for the African nations as well. It's made it slightly easier. What do you suddenly see now? Some more youngsters coming in to the team. I believe we've got like Suarez and even Pablo Mari that are back from their COVID isolations and stuff. So yeah, you're looking at some players that have not really played a huge amount of games coming in and picking up the mantle, and yeah, maybe a case that you've got, say, like your Sakas and your Odegaards just on the bench, and yeah, Lacazette, and you're giving game time to be it Nketiah. So yeah, I don't know. Smith Rowe definitely going to be starting because, let's say, he's been on the bench. He's definitely going to be getting a big role to play. And then it's a case of then who comes in to pair with Lokonga, and Xhaka. He appears to have not been training, but I believe potentially that could be down to injury, but it also could be down to maybe there's some COVID kind of precaution going on. So yeah, as Arteta said, we won't know until the tests come in tomorrow as to what he's going to be able to select. So yeah, I think it would be nice to see Patino. I don't know. Could you see Patino playing as right from the start? It's a big game to be in there, but as I say, there isn't a huge amount of options. Could Ben White maybe come in and play, as I say, a defensive midfielder, as opposed to being in central defence? And yeah, you look at Holding and you look at Chambers now. Maybe that's a little pair in there, with Gabriel being out as well, suspended. So there certainly is a few changes on the horizon for this game, and as I say, we've got players that need to be blooded, and yeah, I'm sure Arteta's got his lineup in mind, but he doesn't want to give away too much, and yeah, we know what it's like, but so we haven't got a huge amount available. We've obviously got the transfer window, but that's gonna throw a few things up. Now we've got players coming in. You're suddenly thinking, when you've got players that are kind of almost organising their moves or finalising their moves. You got Maitland-Niles, who's now in Rome, and you're suddenly thinking, well, maybe he could have come in central midfield. But it's a bit of a Mickey take by saying, we need you to play just because you've got players at the African nations. The guy hasn't started enough games as he would like. So, yeah, you can understand Arteta is had an honest conversation with him. We had the conversation in the summer about game time, and it hasn't come about. So, yeah, readdress it in December, which we've done, and yeah, we've worked out that it's best to move him on to play and actually get game time. And Rome will be a good experience for him, and playing under Mourinho, I don't know. Is it going to be a good experience? I don't know. He's certainly gonna learn something from going there, but yeah, you just have to let him go. Try and get as many games as possible, and we can see what comes of it after that. So he's going. So he's already there for his medical, and that'll probably be official. If it isn't tonight, then it will probably be early in the morning, and then that means he's then available to play at the weekend. I think Roma have got Juventus. I think they said so. Yeah, could be starting against them if he plays. So yeah, he's not the only one. You've got Balogun also, that looks like he's on his way to Middlesbrough, and that is very close. So we could be seeing two players going straight out already. And yeah, you've got Leno coming in goal, Suarez coming back with Mari. Tavares should be getting a little start for Tierney. So it's going to be a very good side. We've got lots of quality there, and yeah, you're going to have Martinelli still playing. I'm sure he's going to be itching to play and get involved. I'd like to see Saka just given a rest, because yeah, he's played huge amounts, and as I say, we need to get some more players some game time. So be it that we give Cedric, we give the players coming back that game time, and those players that are gonna be involved against Liverpool and even Tottenham. We need to kind of just give them a little respite, because these games are going to come thick and fast now. So yeah, we need to be ready. And as I say, if we do pick up a couple of players in this transfer window, then it'll be great. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the transfer window. There's lots of rumours, as there always is. 300, 400 different players Arsenal link with every window. But yeah, Vlahovic, I think, is looking promising. From what is coming out and what is being spoken about is that we are in the lead to actually get him. But again, it's convincing him to come to Arsenal. Just think though, we've got a young striker playing in Italy. He knows that his next move could be a really big move, but then you're suddenly thinking he's been touted around as a really, really good player, a goal machine, and you're suddenly thinking, well, the clubs that could be coming in for him, they've got Champions League football, they've got this. So you hear the people saying, well, why are we going for a player that doesn't want to sign for Arsenal? So, well, there's that kind of feeling from the player where you're suddenly thinking, well, okay, I'm not gonna come out gushing for Arsenal, because again, what happens if a Man City or whatever, any team that's got Champions League football or whatever like that, where a player wants to play in those elite competitions. So yeah, playing cards close to chest. Yeah, don't make it an easy goal, because again you're doing yourself out of a potential contract as well. You're making it too easy, then you're going to be walked all over. So yeah, there's probably a bit of gamesmanship in there for the negotiation side, but we've still got pull as a club, Arsenal. There's every player will, when Arsenal come knocking, they'll be like, I'm very interested. But again, it's all part of the negotiation process, and yeah, I think he'll be a very good signing if we manage to do it and get him over the line. But as I say, this next 6 months is huge for Arsenal. When you look at the fact that we could have 4 strikers out of 5 not being at the club. I'll put Martinelli in that 5. You could have Pepe in there as a 6, but yeah, two of those out of the 6. You've got Nketiah, you've got Aubameyang, and you've got Lacazette. So yeah, you just look at it, and with Balogun as well going on loan, yeah, three players there, 2 that the contracts are expiring. They're going to go for free somewhere, and then Aubameyang, if we can get rid with someone who will take his wages. I don't know. Well, we have to subsidise the wages, but it's a big moment for the club, because we need to do it right, and we need to invest very well in the next striking options for the club. And if Lacazette stays, we can't make the same mistake what we did for the last 2 big name players, and it was Ozil and with Aubameyang by giving him bumper contracts. We can't see now Lacazette playing for a new contract, and then when it gets really, 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 really to the end, we then just lose our cool and just chuck a ridiculous contract into him to say either sign it or not. We had it with Aubameyang, and that was too much. That was just, yeah, sign the ting. It was like all the time. It was a I'm in an R in, and then eventually did it. So if he was that interested and wanted to stay at Arsenal, that contract would have been signed just like that. Yeah, look at all those players that have played for us over the years, the proper legends that would bust a gut to play for Arsenal, and they would have signed it there and then. There was big issues there with that contract, and you look at it and you just think really, really poor from our side. But I don't want Lacazette to be that way. I think he wants like a 3-year contract. We only want to offer maybe a 1 or a 2 year at a push. But again, bumping up his wages, as long as it isn't a ridiculous amount, then get it done. Get it done, because he's shown that he's more of an asset the way we're playing than the previous captain. So and Aubameyang had his time, had his good moments, and some really good performances and some important performances and goals and some important moments, some really proud moments. And I'm gutted to see it end that way, because I do like Aubameyang as a player, but as I say, if you're not doing it and you're not putting the effort in, and you're not showing that you want to play for Arsenal and give everything and be the role model that you are being as a captain, then the buck stops there. You're not just gonna get a free ride at Arsenal. So, and I'm pleased Arteta is like that as well, because there does need to be a change in culture, and it's happening, but we've got to be ready for the next chapter. Certainly up front, we can get Vlahovic and then another player alongside. Is the door totally shut on Nketiah? I think it's been talked long enough that he wants to go and play more and get the game time, and it hasn't really worked out. He's done fantastic in the Carabao Cup, some great performances there, but it's just the week in, week out Premiership. Is it a step too far? Is it a step too physical for him? And I think it was similar when he went to Leeds in the Championship, and again he ended up not playing as much through the season that he probably thought he would have done, and probably what Arsenal thought he would have done. And so you look at it like that and you think, well, maybe he isn't at that level. I think it's still early, but there is certainly potential there. And whether or not it's a case that he has to play, he has to keep playing and playing and playing to get that kind of fluidity and the way of playing all the time. Because it must be hard just coming in to play one game, or coming in playing 5 minutes from the subs bench. But playing week in, week out, you're learning, you're getting those kind of relationships with the players in the team, and then it makes it a bit easier. But there certainly is potential there, and I'd love to see if there was a chance that we could maybe keep him for another year contract, see what he says. There's space in those positions now. And let's say if Balogun goes on loan in January, which it will happen, and then he goes away on loan again in the summer, then there still is going to be an attacking spot. If we sign one striker, you potentially have Lacazette, but then we've got an Nketiah there that can still come in and do it. Then there's that opportunity. But will we sign two strikers? I don't know. I'm not sure on the budget that we've got and how much we're willing to spend in January. I think certainly central midfield is a big key. I think that probably is still going to be more short term rather than long term. So I'm looking at a loan signing. I'm looking at a pay as you play. And yeah, Jack Wilshere is training with Arsenal. Arteta will know enough from him training with Arsenal whether or not he's at that level to be able to do it. And if there's any inkling that he can do it, then it would make sense. It would make sense. It's a no-brainer. And if it can help in a little sticky time where we are low on numbers, and he can play, a substitutes appearance or whatever, just anything like that, and he can actually put some game minutes in and actually put a performance in as well, then it is a no-brainer. It's there in your doorstep, and it's not hardly costing you any money on that side. And if it gets you through until the summer, it puts him in the window again for the summer. So maybe another club comes in the summer for him, and it proves his fitness as well. So, and that's been his big issue, is just proving that fitness and keeping fit and doing it. So yeah, lots of talk about players coming in, and yeah, it's only going to get worse. But yeah, I as typical Arsenal fashion, I don't think there's any point in waiting for signings until a couple of days before the end, unless we change our way of doing things and get the job done early. And if we can, that would be great, because that's what we need to do. So yeah, FA Cup, really positive about it. And yeah, let's get a win, let's get behind the lads, and let's move on to semi-final against Liverpool, and hopefully have a good selection of players to pick from. So up the Arsenal, I think 3-1 is my prediction. So yeah, let's go on to round 4 and do us all proud. So up the Arsenal. See you later, Gunners.